It's a great result here.
Yeah, I think as long as we get through turn one today, it's going to be a hell of a lot better than yesterday. So, yeah, in general, I feel okay. It looks like we might stay dry, so that's a positive, and really looking forward to trying to put a solid race together today.
Have fun, have a good one.
Thank you both.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks to Brad Binder. Confirmation, as you saw on your screens there as we went through the grid lineup, that at the moment it looks as though everyone is going to go medium front, medium rear. Certainly with the torture that the tyres take under a circuit such as this, the medium rear, if the temperatures were good enough for it, would be the preferred pick. And of course, the medium front will certainly work well enough in these warmer conditions that we have on Grand Prix Sunday. Pedro Acosta, as you can see there, aiming to become the first KTM rider to win a Grand Prix since Miguel Oliveira in wet conditions in Buriram late in 2022. If you want to go back to the last time that the KTMs won in a dry Grand Prix, you actually have to come back 5 years right here when Miguel Oliveira held off Joan Zarco on a Pramac Ducati to win the 2021 Catalan Grand Prix. So it's 5 full years since the RC16s have triumphed in a full dry Grand Prix. Pedro Acosta looking to end that run as well as his own wait for a MotoGP victory today. The doctor in the house, Valentino Rossi on the grid, of course a serial winner here too over the course of his MotoGP career. His last of those coming 10 years ago, back in 2016, an unforgettable head-to-head with Marc Marquez. And the doctor, he's had to fend off plenty of questions about how his team is going to look in 2027 as well, as we've already discussed, with 4 Italians vying out for the place, we suspect, alongside Fermin Aldeguer next season. Of course, all of that yet to be confirmed. The very traditional Catalan opening ceremony here ahead of the Catalan Grand Prix. Lights out in just under 20 minutes' time.
I'm back. I know when the former Olympic city of Barcelona, just shot putting my glasses across the comps box here. So, yeah, I've rescued them. I can actually now see what's going on the screens. Pecco Bagnaia, then can he stop the rot? Can he end this barren run for the factory Ducati team? No podium in the last 10 Grand Prix, not just for Pecco, but also for the factory team as well. Pecco going solo here this weekend with no Marc Marquez. Now, Fabio Di Giannantonio, well, he's had no problems finding his podium touch so far in 2026. Frankie Morbidelli as well goes from the front row of the grid for the offers. Let's get the thoughts of the boss, Pablo Nieto with Joe.
Yeah, did you? One of the men that I'm sure everyone will be watching in this one. He was the fastest rider in the closing stages of yesterday's sprint, which should put him in good stead, Pablo, but I feel I've asked you this question a million times. How much is this down to him getting the start right?
Yeah, I think we are making a very good job, so this is really, really important, but still we have to improve. More or less is 75% of the race, so this is our goal to try to improve that, because we saw that Fabio is very, very fast, so we will see what happens.
On the front row of the grid, you've got Frankie Morbidelli. It feels as though it might be a bit of a race of survival for him. Didn't have much luck at the opening corner yesterday. What would be a good result for Frankie?
Yeah, in the end it's very important because he's starting from second position, so that means if he makes a very good start, you know, like you say, it's very important to survive during the race. It's difficult to say what I'm going to be happy, because depends everything of the first 2 laps, so we will see what happens. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jack. Thanks to VR46 boss Pablo Nieto. Frankie Morbidelli's hopes of fighting for another medal this season after his brilliant third place in that dramatic sprint finish ended at the first corner when he had to go through the long lap penalty loop as he came across some heavy traffic in what was always a congested first sector here in Catalunya. One of the rides of yesterday's sprint, without any question, was Joan Zarco, the number 5, starting P5 and finishing at P5 in that sprint. Can he go any better this afternoon? Let's get the thoughts of LCR on the boss, Lucio, checking on with Jack.
Yeah, Lucio just takes the jacket off, which gives you an indication that those clouds we had for the Moto2 race have certainly gone away. Track temperature, I'm sure, is going to be soaring now. Although he wouldn't confirm it to me, he was leading the sprint for maybe half a second. He got his nose in front of Pedro. It was a brilliant, brilliant ride. What can he do today? Because I'm sure expectations are just a little bit higher, given what he achieved.
Well, I like to keep always the feet in the ground. Of course, we we know that they have a strong package, and then we have to see till the end of a long race. Yesterday's sprint was perfect for us, but I am a little bit concerned on the final distance that perhaps they will have a little bit more because we use a little bit more the tire. Thanks, Lucio. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks as always to LTR boss Lucho checking out. Thanks once again, Jack. Yeah, how long can John Zarco hang in there? Doesn't sound as confident as he was yesterday, does he? Lucho down on the grid. Looks like the Hondas were struggling in particular late on in that sprint to get the rear touch, catch the traction out of the final corner. John Zarco was getting flicked down the start, finish straight. MotoGP legend.
Fantastic race today for sure. I can't wait to see. Today's race much different than the sprint race with 25 laps. Good luck.
MotoGP runner-up Randy Mamola. We just pause there to get some pre-race thoughts from the American, still very much part of the MotoGP World Championship paddock in Southern Dakota. Works with the LTR on the team as Fabio Quartararo tries to keep himself cool. We get the leathers on, so he looks like he's ready for the beach though right now, doesn't he, Fabio Quartararo? I thought let's go down and get some thoughts from Trackhouse of Free Boss Davide Brivio, who joins Jeff.
Yeah, it was a brilliant ride from Ralph Fernandez for 80%, 90% of yesterday's sprint, and then the tyres just seemed to fall off of a cliff, Davide. Is that a concern going into today? Although we expect everybody's going to swap to medium to maybe solve it.
No, yeah, it is a concern in a sense that we have to try to learn from yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, in the last laps, he was struggling with the front tire, so he knows. Yeah, of course, it's not easy, but he has to learn and try to manage today. It could still a problem also today. Let's say that with a medium tire in the rear, it pushes less on the front, so hopefully maybe it will be struggling less on the front, but I mean, we know in general this is the track where you have to be good on managing tires, and so yesterday has told us.
I have a huge mountain to climb, but we saw yesterday in the sprint again, his pace late in this race is probably going to be as good as anybody, so where can he get up to?
Yeah, no, that's a good thing. We talked a bit, and we know it's fast by the end of the race. It's a matter to start at the right time in order to be as in front as possible. So let's hope he can do the same. So maybe try to manage at the beginning and then try to attack by the end, the second half. And let's see what he can. Yesterday he recovered from 18 to 8. I say you have more time today, so try to do more.
Let's see. Good luck, Davide.
Thank you, Rob.
double anthem, the national anthem and the Catalan anthem are coming up shortly here at the circuit of Barcelona. Catalunya, all the dignitaries, they are gathered and ready, and they're on their feet. What's coming their way over 24 laps here Barcelona, Catalunya. So little for the captain team. We wish Marquez a speedy recovery. We hope the reigning world champion is back in action on the GP26 with the captain's home Grand Prix in Magello in a couple of weeks' time. A home Grand Prix, which is really racing. We're hoping that they go to Alex Marquez as back-to-back winner in Barcelona. Let's get the thoughts of the boss of the machine here, Jack.
Yeah, big few hours coming up for Alex, the potential of doing the first ever double in his career, and he is the favourite going into it, Michele, but all weekend he said he's not had that same flow, that same feeling from last year. Do you think he managed to find it overnight?
Yeah, I think so. We made some modifications during the warm-up that it works, working on the balance of the bike, but different race, same strategy. The strategy will be to try to take the lead of the pack and so manage the tire. We know that Alex has a good potential with the medium tire at the rear, but we have to see also our competitor are more aggressive, but we will see.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jack. Thanks to Michele Massini. Of course, the Italian squad. Well, they've already seen Alex prevail on Spanish soil so far this year. One Italian Hall of Famer, giving advice to his Italian star rider at the moment, Fabio Di Antonio. Want to talk about the master plan. Now it's on Fabio's shoulders to get the job done. As the doctor is in the house, he's already seen Diggia claim one podium so far here this weekend. Going for just his fourth double podium. Well, from pole position, it's been a brilliant weekend, whatever happens in this Grand Prix as far as Pedro Acosta is concerned. Second in the tightest sprint finish in history, and he's flying away from pole. Let's get the thoughts of the Cops Cruises. Ultra back to the Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a huge weekend for Pedro so far. So close yesterday. You just had your final words with him then. What did you say?
No, mate, I mean, it's just stick to the game plan, you know. It's a long race out of there, you've got to be smart. Don't get too sucked into pushing the pace too much at the beginning. Stick to the game plan, that's it, mate. And believe in himself out there. And if we can do our race, I think we're really in for a shot. Cheers, buddy, thank you.
MotoGP race winner is today. His day with Destiny. They've got a master plan. He's on pole position. He's got a great shot at it. Just his second ever pole in MotoGP. Seventh has gone 3-3. He's actually a prolific pole starter, isn't he? Pedro Acosta, Moto3 world champion, Moto2 world champion, more than likely one day in the future, potentially MotoGP world champion. First and foremost, he works hard to win seconds over the course of the 21-lap battle in Moto2. Are we going to get the sort of same big gaps in lap times when we start to finish of this 24-lap MotoGP race here in Catalunya? John Zarco getting himself set and ready. Fifth in the sprint yesterday, his best in 21 since he was close to the podium for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Great to see, I have to say as well, credit to all the Marc Marquez fans, knowing that their hero is not racing here this weekend. They've already got their tickets, they're already ready to rally for the home hero on the football surgery for last weekend. British Grand Prix, got his own dedicated grandstand turn 12, but it's still Ingo March watching at home, jam-packed with 93 flags, bright red 93 t-shirts, pockets of Marc fans all over the circuit of Barcelona. Speedy recovery, Marty, we'll see you hopefully soon, hopefully in Magello next time. Front row of the grid then here, head of this Catalunya clash. She's already won the sprint. career is going to start minus the South African, who had his troubles in the sprint yesterday when he was taken out at the first corner. But we're under orders. It's lights out, and we're racing in MotoGP here in Catalunya. It's a great start for pole position once again by Pedro Acosta, who tries to shut up Alex Marquez on the long run down to the first corner. They go left, they go right. It's going to be Acosta out here bunch of the brakes. And here's Martin, another dynamic start from Martin. Briefly up into fourth place. Izzy trying to go a long way around the outside of Frankie Morbidelli. Ralph Fernandez on the inside of Alex Marquez going through three. There's a Costa that leads.
Yeah, Costa from Alex Marquez and Ralph Fernandez. Martin is in fourth place. He had a blistering start straight down the right-hand side of the racetrack. Benteke, his teammate, also up two. He's up into ninth place. Got Binder out of the way.
Significant early move by Fernandez. Albeit briefly on the inside of Alex Marquez. The brakes in turn four. That's not an easy move to make with full fuel tank. And now he's going for it once again into five. This is going to be tight. Fernandez is strong in that turn five here yesterday. So Fernandez and Alex Marquez have already had 2 or 3 moves on this first lap.
And Martin jockeying with Zarco, and he's now attacking Alex Marquez. Martin, oh, it's going to be tough to get through there. Contact between the two Spaniards, and that could cost Martin.
Oh, close to home with SC Barcelona, and that was a proper shoulder buys, wasn't it? Martin on Alex Marquez there as they went through turn 7 and 8. And this has given clear daylight here to Acosta at the front. He'll be blissfully aware of all the drama that's unfolded behind him on this first. That Martin makes a real hash of turn 10.
Oh, Zarco nearly lost it.
Zarco, if he'd lost it there, he'd clean it all the way out.
Yeah, he's almost an offense on there. Now contact between Zarco and Frankie Morbidelli, and this could let Jorge Martin back through. But this is all giving the front three a major break behind them. Behind Martin into Gian Antonio 7th, then Quartararo, and then it's Marco Benteke 9th.
Zarco and Martin dodged the bullet there, didn't they? Firstly, Zarco. Martin put himself in a dip on the outside of Fraser because he made a meal and breaks into turn 10. Zarco almost washed the front out himself and went down. And had he gone down, surely he'd have collected Roy Martin on the outside. Then Acosta's lead again that first lap. 3/10 as Martin goes on the inside of Morbidelli on that long run into the first corner. So Martin in recovery mode. He's going to get on par with Zarco once again.
Well, we wonder whether Martin might go a little bit more cautious on the first lap. He certainly hasn't. He's been full aggression on this first lap. So the Aprilia's all making ground. Fernandez up 2. Martin has already up 3. Of course, all of those have gained a place immediately because of Binder not being there. He's in the back of the field. Benteke's now 8th ahead of Quartararo, and Ayagura's up 6 places, 18 to 12.
Yeah, Binder, just to confirm, didn't start the Grand Prix. He started it from pit lane, so he is operating in this Catalan Grand Prix, albeit a long, long way from the back. On board, then looking back to Martin, it was a real nudge, wasn't it? A real nerve there from Martin on Alex, and that's cost those 2 crucial time here early on. Costa is just starting to stretch his legs out of it here. Zarco's got with Marquez. How much is the bottom rider potentially taking out the tyres here? Lucho checking on us, so they don't feel like they've got the pace in the second half of this Grand Prix to be a podium contender. Oh, Zarco. Well, he's had some hair and scale comes only way through that turn. He almost plowed into the back of Alex on the exit 10.
Martin's settled things down a bit now in 5th place. He's got the 2 46 Ducati between himself and his teammate. Marco Benteke is 8th. You have to say once again, although he's only lost 1 place, it's another place dropped on a first lap for Fabio Di Gian Antonio. He's not out of the picture by any means, but any hope of winning the Grand Prix is already starting to look a little bit remote.
Can't start that GP26 at all, can he? Alex Marquez goes into the Ducati Express lane here. Is he going to win the game with there on the brakes against Ralph Fernandez? Ralph Fernandez is not going to let him have it. Fernandez has the inside line. That was a real tough move that by Ralph Fernandez. He saw Alex Marquez on his outside, said, no way, pal. You're not having this second place. This is playing in hands right now than Acosta, isn't it? Already 7/10 clear at the front of the field. Martin is the quickest rider on circuit with a 1:40.123.
I think it's very good news for Acosta as well as Ralph Fernandez is defending that second place because you feel like the 2 riders that might be Acosta's greatest threats from here are Alex Marquez in 3rd and Martin in 5th. Zarco's not listening to any of that though, is he? Up the inside and he sends Alex Marquez out to the car park.
He really does send Alex out of the car. And Alex almost has his front wheel wiped away there by Jorge Martin. There has been some serious aggressive moves laid on by Gian Zarco in the Farmers Grand Prix. But he's perfectly entitled to it. Not winning himself or doing himself any favours to right down the popularity stage, isn't he?
Yeah, he's now in
watch, awesome to watch him.
Certainly popular at LCR right now. He's in the podium positions in 3rd place. He's got his former team right behind him and Martin from a long way back. He's chasing 3rd place. What a start to the Grand Prix at his speed. But Jorge Martin just could not get it stopped though.
Clearly he's got the superior speed over Joan Zarco. Just for the bide his time here, charging there to turn 10. He's safe from our position, isn't it? Just operating at the patient game, but we're on board then now. That's Marquez, who was rocked up, wasn't he, by Zarco at turn 5 on this lap. It's dropped Alex down to 5th place. He's trying to recover those lost places in the split through again. Look at this, what a time to ride on board with Alex as they went through the gearbox at almost 350 kilometres an hour.
Martin's busy attacking rather than defending. He takes Zarco then for that 3rd place. That's why Alex couldn't make his way through. It's brilliant. He's so fast in a straight line. Ralph Fernandez though took 3/10 over Costa once he won that battle into turn 1 with Alex Marquez. Fernandez just took a 3/10 fight over Costa's lead.
These riders already protecting those tyres. The fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far. Ralph Fernandez just had a TV lap as Alex goes through on Joe and Zarco. He runs wide and Zarco will just keep the inside line. He'll put that running white paint on the inside of 4. Alex so now down the hill into turn 5, trying to deal with the pesky brakes right here. Right now Alex then does get back through that turn 5. We're about a second off the pace of the best sprint lap yesterday, which was a 1:39.209 on the second lap by Alex Marquez. So yeah, early on already the front runners are a second away from the best sprint early pace.
Yeah, it's Pedro Costa just running a pace that he's happy with in this thing. We know Paul Sebastian's Jack saying that if we do our own race, we've got a major chance. So is Pedro Costa not really concerned with the fact that his lead is coming down, because he knows what kind of pace he can do and what kind of pace will get his tyre to the end of the race. Ralph Fernandez at this stage clearly does fancy joining in his fellow Spaniard at the front of the field and potentially taking the lead from him.
Yesterday Ralph Fernandez was expecting to manage the rear tyre and have a drop off with the rear, but it was actually the front that denied him a chance late on to fight for the podium, and just couldn't get the track out to put it stopped or turned to keep on par with Fabio Di Antonio late on. And we know the KTM's not slow, the 363.3 comes now down the start finish. They're coming a long way back. It's Ralph Fernandez. Oh yeah, Costa just saw it in time to react to Ralph Fernandez then. They decided to put the back to there he goes. Saw Costa down, the brake goes over the first corner. Track house up to the lead once again.
39.9 on that last lap. Ralph Fernandez fends up in the Grand Prix, scrolling right onto the rear tyre of Costa. Behind us, we saw that move also for Marquez. He passed Martin, so the 73 back ahead of the in play World Championship leader Jorge Martin. They're now 3rd and 4th.
You know that Ralph Fernandez is a bit vulnerable right now in that track house of Philly squad. The three names being mentioned, interested in Honda for his seat in 2027, so he's in shop window time. He's trying to show whoever will be the new team manager track house in 2027. I'm still your man, I'm still the rider you need on RSGP next season. Only the second time in his MotoGP career he's actually led. Of course, the last time we did it, Philippine in Australia, he went on to win.
Someone who's got a problem here is Marco Bezzecchi, the championship leader once this race began. He's stuck behind Frankie Morbidelli at the top of the picture in 8th place. There's a big gap that's now opened up between the two VR46 Ducatis. Did you see on the back of this 4-rider group that are fighting for final podium position? Morbidelli can't go with it, and he's backing up Bezzecchi in 8th place.
An 8th place, which was actually equal his best ever MotoGP result around this Catalunya circuit. Can't really say that, can you, about Marco Bezzecchi, who just is having a bit of a torrid weekend. It's been so good to start in 2026. Those 5 successive top 2s. Big ass to get anywhere near that.
He's now 11. He's dropped 3 further places. He's made a mistake somewhere on this 5th lap. He's now behind Mir, Marini and Fermin Aldeguer. It just got even worse for Bezzecchi.
Even with the pass on the Costa into the first corner of that last lap, Fernandez still found the best lap of the Grand Prix so far. He's rapid at the front for the moment. Crucially, how much is he taking out of those Michelin tyres underneath him? Fernandez a 1:39.852. One of only 2 riders in the 39s, the other being Alex Marquez.
This was where Bezzecchi went straight wide. Then he ran into the back of his fellow Italian Morbidelli. The brakes got worse, Bezzecchi fans too. He's now been passed by Pecco Bagnaia too. Bezzecchi got some sort of problems. He's now a second behind even Bagnaia, under the pressure from Bastianini and Agora now.
It's been an awful weekend as far as Ben's concerned. As it stands right now, as you can see, he's going to lose the MotoGP World Championship lead. He will be 7 points behind Roy Martin going to Repsol in the show at the end of May. Could get even worse if Roy Martin rides and being hard on this podium battle as well. On board with the Costa, up to about 280 points now. 4th gear before they drop back down a couple of gears into the tight left-hander, turn 10. Fernandez Yeah, because he's obviously wary as well with the air behind Fernandez. He's going to be having issues maybe with his front tyre temperature, his front tyre pressure raising pretty rapidly. I wonder whether that's also a factor at play here as far as Acosta goes. Through we go then into turn 4. How's Alex Marquez getting on? And he tries to fight back up, drop down to 5th or 6th in the after Zarco's aggression. Yeah, and Alex is looking quick, he's looking strong. That's now successive laps. The only rider in this Grand Prix so far to pick up back-to-back 139. Alex Marquez 1.1 seconds behind Fernandez.
Clearly, saw a mistake spec second turn 10. There was clearly another one on the lap that was completed. He did a 1.42.2. Why he's now over a second behind Bagnaia. So Benteke at the moment in 12th place. And he ain't exactly looking forward to 12 riders. He's got Bastianini and Agora, who we know get stronger and stronger the later the race goes on, who are now right behind him. So any points that Benteke can get out of this Qatar Grand Prix now, I guess will count as an achievement. Because once again, as we've seen so often here in Barcelona, Marco is struggling.
Yeah, Le Mans last year when he was 14th in the French Grand Prix, the last time we saw Benteke anywhere near this kind of low position in a Grand Prix. Almost feel like he's already operating in damage limitation mode at the moment, just to try and pick up a scant few points at the back of the top 15. He can just forget about this weekend, move on, and try and regroup in Mugello in a couple of weeks' time. It is then still Raul Fernandez just keeping Acosta at bay. They're back in the 1.3.3s. Still a lot faster behind them are Alex Marquez and Jorge Martin. Fair play to Joan Zarco. He's doing a sensational job as he gets picked off, unfortunately, by Fabio for Gian Antonio, though. But Joan Zarco to be anywhere near this podium battle at this early stage just shows that he is riding out of his skin at the moment.
Stunning ride, and there are some 2 seconds of extra time left behind Zarco now. So he's in a fairly safe 6th place, back to Frankie Morbidelli, who's leading that train, involving the 2 factory Hondas. We now look at the overhead shot. Soon that helicopter shot will have 3 bikes in it, with Alex Marquez closing in. There he is in the 73, now within a second of the lead.
Yeah, the younger Marquez is simply starting to look very, very menacing here, without any question. He's closing down Fernandez at the cost of a pretty rapid rate. Ahead of him. Section. This is where we have a big contact early on with Martin. Martin with a head shake there on the gas as Acosta went careering towards turn 9.
Knowing that Alex Marquez is closing in on him, because Alex Marquez beat him to the sprint victory yesterday. Martin's doing pretty good lap time 2 in 4th place, 40.1 for him. He's also faster than the leading pair. Keep an eye on Martin, he's not out of this yet. He's just under a second behind Alex Marquez, and of course could hand further punishment to his teammate Marco Benteke.
Clapping charge through from 18th to 8th on the sprint yesterday has not been replicated. The Japanese rider on the 24 first time last weekend, and Le Mans is down in 14th place. There's nothing at all we've seen from there. Bastianini, 3rd in the Grand Prix here last September. He's been nowhere really. It was a front-running force this weekend. Acosta in the slipstream. We know how fast the KTM is in the start-finish lane. Acosta is back at the front. Nothing that Fernandez can do about that at all. So as we start lap 8 of 24, it is Pedro flat 9 rather. It's Acosta that's back in the front.
Very interesting to see if Acosta puts a bit of a spurt on now with Fernandez between himself and Alex Marquez. Is this an opportunity for Acosta just to build a little bit of a gap ahead of the rider who I think we think is going to be his likeliest threat here? The rider in 3rd place, Alex Marquez. Key pace of the race this now potentially for Acosta.
Just feel that Zarco's pace is just tapering off ever so slightly. A 140.8 on the last lap of Zarco. I left lost 5th place to Fabio for Gian Antonio. That was 4/10 slower than Digia, 4/10 slower than Martin, 8/10 slower than Alex Marquez. To be fair to Zarco, Alex Marquez is tougher than anybody at the moment around this Barcelona circuit. So Zarco potentially soon, if he's not careful, will be dropping back into the 41s. He's still over 2 seconds clear of Morbidelli.
Pace already dropping into the mid-40s for the race leaders on that last lap, which is another reason why Acosta wants to get past Raul Fernandez, because his pace already starting to drop off a little bit. Martin and Gian Antonio, they exchange 40.4s. There's the back of the picture, 4th and 5th, with Zarco hanging on in 6th. Morbidelli's now leading a train that goes all the way back to Agora in 14th place. So back to 14th and Benteke weirdly now.
three, four anxious faces, pensive faces looking on inside the factory KTM garage. You can see Pitfire there, KTM Motorsport Director. They want this long barren run to come to an end. So more technical woes coming away of Guggensteiner's French-based squad. Really sort of built on the good news of their extension to a contract with KTM 2027 and beyond. Costa there, 140.4. Alex Marquez at 140.3. Raul Fernandez in the high 140s now. Zarco 140.7. It got Ray Martin and Gian Antonio relaxed headed in that battle for fourth place.
It's a real podium opportunity here for Martin if he can continue this, because he took 4 tenths out of Fernandez, whose pace is now going to head towards the high 140s. That'll be a concerningly trackhouse deal given how sharp his lap times have dropped off. Remember, he was doing high 39 3 or 4 laps ago. He's now a second a lap slower than that as Acosta a little bit wide through turn number 4. And Alex Marquez is trying to deal out the same dose that he dished out to Acosta yesterday.
Seki after his early woes, still stuck in 12th place. That's one position ahead of Ayagura. There was one position to do those two last weekend in Le Mans. A very different story in the Bugatti circuit when they were second and third overall. They're nowhere in contention for a repeat of that here this afternoon. Roy Martino certainly not out of another podium battle here in Barcelona. Fabio Quartararo, who's in 14th place. Quartararo has actually just slipped into the 141, so the Yamaha, who do tend to suffer anyway. Just about hanging on to the lead as they power now through the tight shredding turn 3.
Costa putting a major squeeze on Alex Marquez, saying, if you want to take this lead from me, you're going to have to prize it from my fingers. We know how much Pedro Costa wants a MotoGP victory. We know how hard he's pushed for it. We know how close he's been. So Alex Marquez is going to have to really fight hard for this.
Yesterday in the sprint, Acosta's KTM stopped better. Alex Marquez's Ducati turned better. And two different strengths that played in the sprint yesterday. Here is Acosta there. He'll just be going all in here, won't he? Tooth and nail for that first Grand Prix victory. Super 8 he goes, bit of a wheel there as he was on the power. Through the fast right hand of turn 9, making sure that you ease the power on. You don't want to leave yourself susceptible to a pass. Oh! Acosta got a problem.
Alex Marquez jumps up it.
Oh, dearie me. Acosta had a problem.
It's going to be a red flag.
This is a red flag. This is a red flag. Something happened to Pedro Acosta's KTM. It cut out. Pedro Acosta had a major technical issue there on the back of KTM.
Well. He's in pain.
KTM behind him with nowhere to go. Alex Marquez had no room whatsoever to take any kind of avoiding or evasive action. Drama here then. Of course, first and foremost, our hopes are with Alex Marquez. That was a sickening incident there. And he close to 250 kilometers an hour. Acosta's KTM has just completely gone control. Instant on the run down to turn 10. Poor old Alex Marquez. There was nowhere for Alex to go. I mean, these riders have lightning reflexes.
Behind him.
Nowhere to go.
No chance to react to that. Debris then flew onto the racetrack, which took down Gian Antonio. And I'm certain that some debris hit Raul Fernandez too, because he looked in some serious pain on board his Aprilia.
The contact is deflated. Acosta's rear tyre. To be fair to Pedro Acosta, the moment, the split second he realised he had an issue, he put his arm up, but Alex Marquez was so close to his rear tyre, he just had no time at all to react. He would have tried to avoid the action, but nothing that Alex could do. So this MotoGP race here in Barcelona has been red flagged.
So I think we've lost four of the top 5 riders in this race strategy rider, and Ralph Fernandez was definitely in pain. Of course, we hope that all the riders that have been involved in that are okay. An update from Ralph Fernandez. What's up with Ralph Fernandez? How much pain is he injured?
Yeah, he's in so much pain. 3 of the team personnel had to help him off of the bike. It looks like he went straight to the right collarbone. He's in a lot of pain as well, Fernandez. So I imagine it's going to be very difficult to see him in a restart here.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jack, for the update on Ralph. And you can see there as well, trackside at the instant, further down, a lot further past the initial contact with Alex Marquez and Pedro Acosta with Fabio Di Gianantonio.
He got hit by a clipping wheel or a fork or something, then came bouncing back onto the racetrack. As Alex Marquez was bouncing down the right-hand side, and that just came straight into Di Gianantonio's front tyre and sent him down the road. There is debris everywhere, and of course the rider needs to be treated at the side of the racetrack, down there at turn 10. As you saw on screens there, 3/4 distance has not been completed. We were on lap 13 of 24 when the race will stop, so we will get a restart to this Grand Prix, and there'll be the positions at the end of the last complete lap. Of course, that only includes the riders who are fit and have fit motorcycles to take the restart.
Let's go quickly down the Jack for a Pedro Acosta update, Jack.
Yeah, second bike is being ready for Pedro Acosta.
Tooth and nail for that first Grand Prix victory. Up to 8 he goes, bit of a wheel there as he was on the power through the fast right-hander of turn 9, making sure that you ease the power on. You don't want to leave yourself susceptible to a pass. Acosta got a problem. Acosta, oh dearie me. Acosta got a problem.
Red flag.
This is red flag. This is a red flag. Turn 9, making sure that you ease the power on. You don't want to leave yourself susceptible to a pass. Acosta got a problem. Acosta, oh dearie me. Acosta got a problem.
It's going to be a red flag.
This is a red flag. This is a red flag. This is a red flag.
In 14th place, 7th back to 14th, and Benzeki weirdly now is back in the mid-140s again, doing some pace to the leaders.
This time around, there's nothing you do about Alex Marquez. Alex had the rear wheel hopping in the air there, didn't he? As he waited to the first corner, he's done awesome there actually to make sure he hits the apex there. So Alex Marquez,
The high 140s, that'll be concerning
just about clinging on here, just about hanging on to the leaders. They power now through the tyre shredding turn 3.
Costa putting a major squeeze on Alex Marquez there, saying if you want to take this lead from me, you're going to have to prize it from my fingers. We know how much Pedro Costa wants a MotoGP victory. We know how hard he's pushed for it. We know how close he's been. So Alex Marquez is going to have to really fight hard for this.
Yesterday in the sprint, Acosta's KTM stopped better. Alex Marquez's Ducati turned better. Two different strengths at play in the sprint yesterday. Here is Acosta then. He'll just be going all in here, won't he? Tooth and nail for that first Grand Prix victory. That's Super 8 he goes, bit of a wheel there as he was on the power. Through the fast right-hander on turn 9, making sure that you ease the power. You don't want to leave yourself susceptible to a pass. Oh! Acosta got a problem.
Alex Marquez,
Acosta.
jump off it.
Oh, dearie me. Acosta had a problem.
That's going to be a red flag.
This is a red flag.
Taken out
This
this
is a red flag. Something happened to Pedro Acosta KTM. It cut out. Pedro Acosta had a major technical issue there on the fast record here. British KTM behind him with nowhere to go. Alex Marquez had no room whatsoever to take any kind of avoiding or evasive action. Drama here then. Of course, first and foremost, our hopes are with Alex Marquez. That was a sickening incident there. You're close to 250 kilometres an hour. Acosta's KTM has just
Come across and let the factory boys know to say maybe to investigate further. We saw Brad Binder's bike stored on the grid as well. We don't know of any new updates that KTM have brought, but there is potentially concern of some kind of reliability given what we've seen over the past couple of hours here at Barcelona.
race to be restarted on 13 laps. That was just a terrifying onboard shot there, wasn't it? I mean, Fabio the Gran Antonio basically just ran into a tyre that was flying through the air. For a long time since we've seen a MotoGP bike, we've seen the going to the extent that Alex Marquez did there. I mean, it's just a nightmare. So as you can understand why Danny Aldridge and House got down to KTM as Jack's point has really made. Brad Binder had a start an issue on the line. A technical issue also ruled out Anea Bastianini, and another technical issue has also involved Pedro Acosta. So quite rightly, both the GP technical management are just making sure that KTM's are going to be reliable for this restart. With any kind of similar issue that's come the way of Binder at the start, Bastianini running at the end of the straight, a cutout there, or the sudden loss of power and momentum for Acosta out of turn 9.
See up to the left as you look. That's how little space Alex Marquez had to crash into there. Well, you're not likely to put an awful lot of run off on the side. There's going to be a bit of a speed up operation.
Jack back down to pit lane with further update.
Yeah, just outside the KTM box, and as you guys have just mentioned, Anea Bastianini is not eligible for this restart. So results for the
On a similar issue that's come the way of Binder at the start, Bastianini winning at the end of the straight, cut out there with a sudden loss of power and momentum for Acosta out of turn 9.
See up to the left as you look. That's how little space Alex Marquez had to crash into there. Of course, you're not likely to put an awful lot of run off on the side of a straight, because you wouldn't expect any sort of rider to crash in there. It just goes to show how safe these racetracks have to be, and just how safe all the safety equipment of the motorcycles and the riders has to be, because an accident can happen at any point in any circumstances.
Based on the restarted track, that's makes me want to material, really. When our thoughts are with Alex Marquez, who is in the ambulance being returned now to the Circuit Medical Centre.
What essentially we will have when this Grand Prix gets underway is a bit of a second sprint, won't we? The sprint yesterday was 12 laps in this Grand Prix. So who this might play into the hands of is anybody in this field who still has a brand new soft rear tyre. If anybody does in this MotoGP field, if anybody has a brand new soft rear tyre available, surely they're going to be using that for this restart. The news that Fabio Di Giannantonio is back in the VR46 box gives us positivity, a nod to his team that he hopefully will take this restart.
Yeah, I think that was the I'm good to go, guys. I'm ready. That's what these MotoGP races do. They've got this incredible ability. This is unfortunately it's part of the game, isn't it? You get incidents like this. Thankfully, they are few and far between. But it's the mental fortitude that they can block out these moments of adversity. In a few moments' time, they'll be full gas, 360 kilometres an hour down the start finish straight once again. Of course, they will be thinking about Alex Marquez. That serious incident with Antonio. You see, what can he do? Nothing really. And he was getting absolutely peppered as well by destroyed bodywork. I mean, Alex Marquez destroyed the leading confidence in that MotoGP circuit, didn't it? Let's go down then and get some word from Secretary KTM on what all that NASG mean if they do indeed know. Nico Goyle is with Jack.
Yeah, Nico did. And they explain what happened.
Well, he had a technical issue. The bike basically stopped. We don't know. The bike just came back. We need to check on the data what's happening.
There are concern it was a similar problem to what happened to Pedro.
I have no idea. We just saw Pedro lifting the hand. Once again, we need to check the data, and the bike just arrived right now, so we need to check. Sorry, I cannot tell you anymore.
Thanks, Nico.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks to Nico Goyle. Pedro Costa did everything he could to try and warn the riders behind him. We saw, though, the moment that Alex Marquez in his rear tyre was right at the same moment that Pedro got his left arm up to try and warn those riders behind him that he had encountered a pretty serious issue. Which still is going to be eligible for the restart. The impact, how heavy was the impact? It was rear tyre completely deflated. That's how hefty it was.
Cranking up there on that back straight between 9 and 10. Well, to the thick end of 3 kilometres an hour, you'd say, before they finally break for zone 10, halfway down the straight. There'll be a way to use on when this broken will get back underway. Let's rejoin Jack.
Yeah, just to clear on what we've been saying, MotoGP officials have just gone in to chat with the KTM technical staff, and they have confirmed to them that they are 100% sure that the technical issue at Enea Bastianini and Pedro Acosta is unrelated. So as a result, they're more than happy for Pedro Acosta taking place in the restart.
Nothing whatsoever. Let's have a listen. We're on board with Alex Marquez. That's for Alex Marquez. He lets the field for Pedro Acosta as well for being the innocent cause. No, but innocent, but as you can quite clearly see that Alex was starting to accelerate. He'd gone through the third gear, right-hander at turn 9. He already got up into fourth gear, and he was starting to motor towards about 280 kilometres an hour when he pretty much had a stationary factory KTM part right in front of him. A thumbs up from Fabio Di Gianantonio, because he was right in the thick of that podium battle. Just a little tap on the shoulder there for Digia.
Understandably, it's a little bit pale there, doesn't he? Probably, so, yeah, I think I would do too if I'd seen what he'd seen with bits of Ducati flying in his direction, part of which, of course, took him down into turn 10. And as you say, this is what separates these riders from normal human beings like us in terms of the mentality. They've got to now suddenly switch their mentality from concern what's happened to themselves, concern what's happened to Alex Marquez, to game face, focusing on a Grand Prix and 25 points in a race victory still to be fought for.
MotoGP World Championship. Well, caught up in that incident. Of course, he was leading at one point in the first phase of that Catalan Grand Prix. He track out of three as well for Nanda. Let's get an update on the Spaniard with Davide Brivio.
Yeah, I'm pleased to say Raul now back in the box, but when he got off the bike, it was obvious he was in a lot of pain, Davide. So what's he explained here?
Yeah, no, he got one piece of something on his
still dated. Other than the fact that we know that the blue races will be 13 laps, so there's been no indication yet what the preparation continues if the weather will back underway here in Barcelona. So thankfully, the 16 bars for the last time I've seen Daisy, the expert, the MotoGP race, my mind goes straight back to that horrendous, into completely different instances. The Austria, the Red Bull win, the Maverick Vinales, and Frankie Morbidelli, John Zarco, Zarco Morbidelli was tangled at high speed through that turn 2 kink, and then they went flying through the air. Maverick Vinales and Valentina Rossi so fortunate on that occasion. It is thankfully a very, very rare occurrence.
With that happy siren where there were bits of light and swing arms and all sorts of forks flying right through the air as riders had to jump under. But say it's always the danger when two bikes connect on a straight. There's clearly some work being done there on the left foot of John Zarco. Remember, he was at the tail of that six-rider group himself, but that was a bag of ice that is just off to the left of the picture. So potentially, of course, all that debris, potentially his left foot also impacted by some debris, which when you're in that situation as a rider, you're just hoping it all misses you.
Now it's just a cat who was torn into 1,000 pieces. Bits of carbon, bits of metal flying absolutely everywhere. Ralph Fernandez, Joan Zarco,
weekend. He'll go from the front of the third row when we get underway. That is the scene which has now been cleaned up. So there's now some big issue. You can see the panel there flashing up to the left as you look. The yellow and red striped panel which indicates that there is something on the racetrack, potentially reduced grip coming up. Coming up to just past 23 low. It was building up to a fantastic finale, wasn't it? With Pedro Costa and Alex Marquez. They had a couple of moments where they've gone side by side down the main straight. Because we are still in potentially for a great Grand Prix over 13 laps. But it's saying it's likely to resemble something much more like a MotoGP sprint.
Ever double. Unfortunate that has been pretty red flag with Pedro Costa. Alex will not be able to part of this restart Grand Prix. So it's going to be okay. No serious injury for Alex. Just going to see him have a prolonged absence in both the World Championship areas. We've seen him in the sprint as Carlo Mazzini. Pretty much from day one, integral part of the Italian race team. Everybody shares Alex. Let's go back down to Jack in pit lane.
Yeah, pit lane will be open in 5 minutes time, 14:48 local time. And as you guys might be able to see at the top of your picture, 14 laps to go.
Thanks very much, Jack. So then we are hopefully going to be getting back underway here in about 5 minutes time. A red flag thing. Alex Marquez has been transferred to hospital for further examination, further checks. Let's hope these are just precautionary measures as far as the former Moto3 World Champion is concerned. Confirmed at the moment in Barcelona himself Zarco, another rider that's to take a bit of a whack from some of the flying favourite in the red flag. It's class get an update from Jack on the Frenchman.
Yeah, he saw Joan icing the left foot after some contact with some debris, but Joan with a solid face. He's clearly in some discomfort, but the helmet going back on. The Frenchman will take part in the race.
Something out to Pedro Acosta, ATM. Cut out. Pedro Acosta had a major technical issue there on the back of KTM. KTM behind him with nowhere to go. Alex Marquez had no...
Vicarini was due to take the original start, but he did in 16th place, and he's up 7. Bagnaia 10th from Agura, and Marco Bezzecchi 12th, which is, of course, exactly where he started the original Grand Prix. Quartararo, Moreira and Vinales on the 5th row. Vinales the sole remaining tech 3. KTM running. Miller brings a top track next up ahead of Augusto Fernandez, and Brad Binder 20th place. The two riders do not take the restart for differing reasons, but both very obvious. Enea Bastianini, who had already broken down, therefore is not eligible to take the restart because he was no longer running. This restart, pit lane is now open. It's a situation where the riders have got to try, as difficult as it is for all of us, to shut that incident out of their minds, particularly difficult for the likes of Costa, who was, of course, the central figure to it with his KTM breaking down, but of course, Gian Antonio, Martin, Fernandez and Zarco, who were all in the wake of that incident.
goyah, bau tegap mata ke depan. Dunia bohong.
By Alex Marquez is over 12 laps. Want to go one lap further now then in this restarted Grand Prix of Catalunya. Some riders that can have their pain threshold. Fabio Antonio, Joan Zarco and Raul Fernandez, all of them unable to avoid some of the debris after the Costa Marquez incident. Fernandez second on the grid, Costa very controlled. Comes to Joan Zarco, just trying to find a bit of clear traffic. Jack just informing us that this is a great shootout in terms of rear tyres. Over the shortened format, everybody has gone for the literally soft rear tyre.
Gaspol danga, di gaspol danga danga, manuku siap nembak, poin kurak loyak, raisa guyak guyak, setelan wes gaspol danga, murai ku menang mutlak liane mun pada nembak, aku ragolek musuh, ya ora seneng rusuh, yen pada kepetuk aja lali aru-aru, aja dang-dangangan, rasa iren-irenan, seduluran mergaul di muka udah jadi.
Yeah, he won a sprint earlier on this season. He felt like it was a completely well-earned sprint victory after Marc Marquez had to drop one position late on. So for the second time, Matt's going to come on the starters orders here in Barcelona. That's why Martini takes that third place on the grid over, unfortunately, Alex Marquez, who's waiting for hospital once again. Best of thoughts and well wishes go to the number 73. But here we go then, take two in Catalunya. Lights out, we're racing once again here in MotoGP in Barcelona. And this time around it's Jorge Martin who makes another stunning start in factory in Brilliant. He drops in behind Pedro Acosta. There's going well. Two on the number 36 of factory Honda. There's going to
Zarco into Marini and Bagnaia.
Zarco's got tangled bike. Zarco got stuck in the rear tyre. This will be another red flag. This will be another red flag, surely. Joan Zarco, you can see he was stuck. His leg, one of his legs was trapped in the line. And as the bike barrel rode through the gallop trap, Joan Zarco, who was just along the ride, nothing that he could do. Let's hope that Joan Zarco is going to be okay. Marini, yeah, red flag once again. No choice but to stop there.
As always, they'll take their time with this. Of course, it's inconvenient for everybody to have long delays like this, but they are wholly necessary. They need to give the rider the very best possible care at every single cleaning and thing that do not work as well as it needs to. When the rider is in serious discomfort,
evasive action, but Zarco into the back of Luca Marini, Honda on Honda.
2 or 3 other riders behind him. The ice pack is now in the Ducati box for Pecco Bagnaia. I think it's his left arm that he was concerned with. We saw him favouring that. The goal said, yeah, he now puts the ice pack on there. As you said earlier on, Bagnaia's had his fair share of drama and red flags and trips to hospital before here at the circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya. He doesn't want another. And Luca Marini has now successfully changed leathers. He's now got to try his get himself mentally back in the zone for a restart.
Too early
maklum gondodok nyumet rokok manukku wis mantuk-mantuk penak dadi cah gantangan ditelateni ya lumayan sako mung laberan rawe piro sing bos-bosan manuk setima gak guna modal nekat karo donga kicau maniak kawan bayi manukku wani mati kicau 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 mania kicau 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 mania kicau 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 mania kicau 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 mania burungku datang semua senang burung berjuang suara lantang burung berdendang di atas tiang rakudu kondang sing penting menang burungku gacor wes mesti skor burungku mejer rasa comiri burung menari naikkan tensi angkatlah topi minat menggojabri kicau 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 mania kicau 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 mania kicau 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 mania kicau 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 mania.
Where he was around about an hour and a quarter ago when the first part of this Catalan Grand Prix got underway on board with Jorge Martin. Never got a chance to see it, but he must have that pretty initial start. Then he came off some sort of issue himself on the way down to turn one, lost a bit of momentum, and then dropped back into the back ever so slightly. He ended up beating out on the outside of the front row. Vladimir Alger and Marini, who were on that third row, that empty space, so will enable them to stay open and just drive straight through that gap close to the results of the order. Of course, heightened tension, as we mentioned, with this third start, particularly what's happened already here this afternoon. So fingers crossed we get the 19 riders who are going to take their start to the Czechoslovak Stadium.
Gaspol danga, di gaspol danga-danga manukku siap nembak poinku ra keoyak raisa guyak-guyak setelan wes gaspol danga muraiku menang mutlak liyane mun pada nembak aku ra golek mungsuh ya ora seneng rusuh yen pada kepetuk aja lali aru-aru aja dang-dangangan rasa ireng-irengan seduluran merga hobi muka berkah rezeki kicau 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 mania kicau 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 mania kicau 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 mania
Drops across the head of the factory, a pretty rider. Ralph Fernandez there in third place. Tram Mears with a good start once again. He's in fourth from the factory Honda.
Paco Bagnaia, credit for him, his left hand in pain. He's also made a very good start. He's straight up into fifth place. Of course, a twice former winner here.
12 lap sprint format.
kicau 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 mania
This is a massive achievement as far as Martin is concerned. He's on all further control.
Benteke, I think.
ora ganteng ora mangan ra duwe gaji bulanan lah wong tujuh cah kantoran tangga tangga pada Senin
Taking down
Ralph Fernandez manuk lungo sodok nyumet rokok manukku wis mantuk-mantuk penak dadi cah gantangan ditelateni ya lumayan sako mung laberan rawe piro sing bos-bosan manuk setima gak guna modal nekat karo donga kicau maniak kawan bayi manukku wani mati
What a brilliant takes out another, and just you never get the feeling Pedro Costa today might just be your day. Clattered by Alex Marquez, was able to take the restart. He's now leading this Grand Prix back from Juan Mir still on a soft rear.
On the unlikeliest of situations, Mir closed in on Acosta. Pecco Bagnaia somehow might be ending Ducati's long barren run. The factory team who had a podium in the last 10 Grand Prix, their worst run in over a decade. But in the third time running of this Catalan Grand Prix, he's now in third place, potentially on the box for the first time since he won the Japanese Grand Prix last September.
Yeah, take a third Barcelona victory at Pecco Bagnaia, although it's getting a bit trapped. Costa and Mir have got a few bike lengths ahead. Gian Antonio might be the real danger here for Costa in fourth place. That's right, as you mentioned, on the last lap. Far away in the front, Quartararo's nearly second behind in fifth place. Now again for Costa. Gian Antonio himself, of course, he's only taken one MotoGP victory at Qatar a few years ago. Positions. I think we can all forgive him if he's winning top in it today.
Honda are just going to go, you go all in, mate. You just absolutely go full send. Don't have any regrets. Just pull the pin and see what happens. Try and keep this fresh one Acosta. Yesterday, Acosta in the sprint said he was suffering with the edge from that cage, and clearly you can see. That's through turn 12, the one sweeping right hand, and then the last two lights, 13 and 14. Mio's got the better corner speed. Couldn't really do much up with it behind Pedro Acosta. Don't get hoovered up into the stretches there, Juan. Very nearly did, managed to miss the rear tyre of Pedro Acosta. So what would normally be the best opportunity to make an overtake down to turn 1. I'm not so sure on that factory Honda it is for me. Through on Pedro Acosta's KTM. The KTM we know is super rapid down the start finish straight. You have to be bold to make a move on Acosta on the brakes in the turn one. Mia at the moment just can't find that way through. And now Agura picks off Bagnaia.
He's also on the medium rear side, just in a 39.926. He is the fastest rider on the racetrack at the moment. Acosta is just going to hug the inside of the racetrack, forcing Juan Mir to go the long way around. But is he going to go in too hot? Mir's going to sniff an opportunity now.
Tripping up over the back, aren't they, Acosta right now? We saw Acosta suffer with pace at around the half distance yesterday, sprint before. He had a real late flurry as well, so it's not a case of if Mir and Digi do get done on the 37, it's going to be game over. And for Acosta, the point exceeds some massive pressure, right? Humongous pressure being thrown at him by both Mir and Di Giannantonio.
Trying to get out of this, not sure he is just yet. He's about 9/10 off the back of this trio that are looking at. Giannantonio, he wants to make his move, he needs to make it soon. Here comes that move, up in the second place, past Mir.
Yeah, this is concerning if you're Acosta in KTM, because as mentioned, Di Giannantonio was lightning quick at the end of yesterday's sprint. Now having finally Sergio Alvaro Aguirre right now, aren't they? Now this is building up to be something, aren't we? We're going to be having a grandstand finish here shortly, aren't we, in Barcelona? Somehow Costa's still the front of the shorter Grand Prix, but Alvaro and Aguirre now are coming to play.
Antonio's had long enough now, a couple of laps to look at the Costa ahead of him to work out where he's strong, where he's weak. He's already found out that it's very, very difficult to outbreak that number 37. As good as Antonio is, can he get that Ducati stopped? He's just parking on the inside of Pedro Acosta and force it to give the leader. Acosta's not going to give this up without an almighty fight.
On the cut, back goes Acosta. The Gian Antonio's going to have the inside line now going through turn 12. Acosta will be hating this. He'll be despising this with every inch of his body because there's history in the last weekend of the French Grand Prix. He did not like it when Fabio Di Gianantonio passed him the ball for the final corner. Now a good double stare looking back at Acosta. Ruffled the 37's feathers. Has Acosta got anything like that? Fabio Di Gianantonio with Valentino watching on from trackside. Is Didier going to win the first Grand Prix for VR46 in 3 years?
Has Acosta got any answer? And he has. He's only got about a lap and 3/4 to find it. The main strength of the main opportunity, but Di Gianantonio was so good through those final right to close lap. His lead is nearly already 4 tenths.
Yesterday when he was racing Alex Marquez's Ducati GP26, Alex just had the far better edge grip. That's what allowed Di Gianantonio to be so strong through those final couple of corners to set up that pass. Brilliantly done. Acosta here, he might be kicking on for a podium, let alone the win. So Pedro Acosta, his heart is sinking right now as he sees that elusive first victory slipping away from him once again. Fabio Di Gianantonio is already through sector 2, almost 7/10 of a second clear of Acosta. This is Didier's now to lose.
Yeah, looks like it's not unless he makes a mistake. And this is a rider, remember, who was showered by debris from Alex Marquez's broken Ducati, around an hour ago in the original start of this Grand Prix. There must be pain under the leathers and under the helmet of Fabio Di Gianantonio, but the perfect painkiller could be coming in a lap and a half of a second MotoGP win.
What a moment this is going to be potentially for the Italian. What a moment for him to win just his second ever race with the boss watching on. Valentino Rossi, the Hall of Famer, will be absolutely loving this. Can Mir, Acosta back to third place. Can Acosta hold on to the podium? And the final corner we go. 4.6 kilometres staying up between Fabio Di Gianantonio and a VR46 Ducati win here.
Mir's been trying this all afternoon ever since the restart. This time he is just going to launch it on the inside of Pedro Acosta, who didn't have the braking capacity that time. Mir up into second place, and a rare podium beckons for the 2020 World Champion.
Acosta's moved the podium here. Acosta's not on the podium. He's not careful. He isn't. He's got no grip. He has got no edge grip whatsoever. A sitting duck, a passenger, Aldeguer diving from the inside of Acosta with the better edge grip through turn 4 we go now. So Aldeguer is through. And Pedro Acosta, having led for so much of the 12-lap Grand Prix, he won't even take the checker flag here in 5th. The Gian Antonio has cleared off. He has checked out. What has Acosta got left? Can Aguirre make it back-to-back podiums? That's going to be the story to complete this Catalan Grand Prix.
What a story though for Fabio Di Gianantonio, a rider who it would appear is leaving VR46 at the end of next season. They are still trying very, very hard to keep hold of him for next season, and he's giving the perfect demonstration this afternoon of why they want to keep him.
Into turn 10, Fabio Di Gianantonio goes. His solitary MotoGP victory came under the night lights in Qatar. final